Welcome to Power in Words, a sanctuary for the weary soul and a forge for the ambitious spirit. Here, we believe that words are not merely sounds carried by the wind, nor ink dried upon a page. They are the architects of our reality, the keys that unlock the dormant chambers of the human heart. We gather here not just to listen, but to transform, to take the raw energy of wisdom and weave it into the fabric of our daily lives. Today, we stand at the precipice of a profound realization, guided by the timeless voice of Ralph Waldo Emerson. We embark on a journey to explore a truth so simple yet so earth-shattering that it has the power to redefine your entire existence. As Emerson whispered to the ages, so he whispers to you now. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. To understand the magnitude of this statement, we must first acknowledge the heavy, suffocating cloak that time often places upon our shoulders. We are, by nature, creatures obsessed with chronology. We live suspended on a tightrope, balancing between the immutable canyon of the past and the misty abyss of the future. It is the human condition to be haunted by what has been and to be paralyzed by what might be. Consider for a moment the weight of what lies behind us. For many, the past is not a memory. It is a prison. It is a gallery of ghosts that we visit far too often. We walk through the corridors of our history, staring at the portraits of our failures, the snapshots of our heartbreaks, and the lingering shadows of the versions of ourselves that we used to be. The past carries the heavy luggage of regret. It is the haunting "if only" that startles you awake at 3 a.m. If only I had taken that job, if only I had spoken my truth, if only I had not let them go. These regrets calcify into a heavy armor that weighs us down, making every step forward feel like a march through deep mud. We allow the past to define our identity. We look at our scars and confuse them with our character. We tell ourselves that because we failed once, we are failures. Because we were hurt, we are broken. We carry the narrative of our trauma like a sacred text, reading from it every time we face a new challenge, convinced that the history of yesterday is the prophecy of tomorrow. But if the past is a heavy anchor, the future is often a terrifying storm. What lies before us is the realm of anxiety. It is the blank canvas that we are too afraid to paint because we fear the stroke will be imperfect. The future asks questions that we feel unprepared to answer. Will I be enough? Will the world crumble? We script catastrophes that have not occurred, that letting the fear of the unknown steal the sanctity of the present. We worry about the economy, about our health, about the judgment of strangers. This fear of the unknown acts as a thief, stealing the joy of the present moment. We become so fixated on the horizon that we forget to look at the ground beneath our feet. We build fortresses to protect ourselves from potential calamities, not realizing that in doing so we are walling ourselves in, cutting off the light of opportunity and connection. The future becomes a monster we try to tame, a riddle we try to solve, but it remains elusive, always one step out of reach, leaving us breathless and exhausted from the chase. And here, in the midst of this tug of war between the gravity of yesterday and the vacuum of tomorrow, Ralph Waldo Emerson steps in and gently places a hand on our shoulder. He invites us to stop looking backward. He invites us to stop squinting into the distance. He points directly to the center of your chest and commands, "Look inward. What you are afraid of and what you are mourning are tiny matters." It seems impossible, doesn't it? How can the death of a loved one, the loss of a career, or the trauma of a childhood be a tiny matter? How can the looming threat of failure or the vast unknown of the future be insignificant? Emerson is not dismissing our pain, nor is he belittling our challenges. He is not saying that these things are small in an objective sense. He is saying they are small by comparison. He is engaging in a radical act of rescaling. He is telling us that we have underestimated the architecture of the human soul. We have forgotten the grandeur of the internal universe. What lies within you is not merely a collection of organs and neurons. What lies within you is a spark of the infinite. It is a reservoir of strength that has no bottom. Think of the times you thought you could not go on. Think of the moments when the night was so dark you were certain the dawn would never come, and yet here you are. You survived. You rose. That survival was not an accident. It was a testament to the indomitable force that resides in your core. There is a resilience within you that is older than your memories and stronger than your fears. It is the same life force that pushes the grass through the concrete, the same energy that the command commands the tides and ignites the stars. You are a vessel of this cosmic energy. When we shift our focus from the external timeline to the internal reality, the world changes. We stop being victims of circumstance and start becoming masters of our destiny. To look within is to discover that you are not the house that is being battered by the storm. You are the fire burning in the hearth, warm and unaffected by the wind outside. The psychological shift here is monumental. It is the movement from an external locus of control where life happens to you to an internal locus of control where life happens through you. Imagine a ship in the middle of a tempest. The waves, what lies before and behind, are crashing against the hull. They are terrifying. They are massive. But the captain does not focus on the size of the waves. The captain focuses on the strength of the engine and the integrity of the rudder. The engine is what lies within. If the engine is strong, the size of the waves becomes irrelevant. The ship cuts through them. You have spent so much time analyzing the waves that you have neglected to maintain your engine. Emerson is calling you to the engine room. He is asking you to stoke the fires of your own spirit. This inner power is composed of your values, your integrity, your creativity, and your capacity to love. It is the quiet voice of intuition that knows the way when the map is lost. It is the ability to find peace in chaos, to find hope in despair. When you cultivate what lies within, the past loses its stinging power. You begin to see your history not as a list of failures, but as a library of lessons. Every scar becomes a medal of honor, proof that you faced the dragon and lived. You stop wishing for a different past and start using the one you have as fuel for your growth. You realize that your experiences, however painful, have carved out a deeper cavern in your soul, allowing you to hold more compassion, more wisdom, and more joy. And similarly, when you are anchored in your inner strength, the future loses its ability to terrify. You stop demanding certainty from tomorrow because you have certainty in yourself. You know that whatever comes, be it triumph or tragedy, you have the internal resources to handle it. You trust in your ability to adapt, to learn, and to overcome. The anxiety dissipates, replaced by a quiet confidence. You walk into the unknown not with trembling knees, but with a curious heart, knowing that you carry your sanctuary with you wherever you go. Let us look at the story of the diamond. For millions of years, it is buried in the dark, crushed by the unimaginable weight of the earth behind it and above it. Relentless pressure, unbearable heat. By all accounts, it should be destroyed, but the carbon does not crumble. It turns inward. It restructures its very atomic lattice. It finds a way to become harder, clearer, more brilliant. The pressure that should have crushed it becomes the very thing that creates it. When it is finally brought to the light, it is unshakable. You are that diamond. The pressures of your past and the weight of your future are merely the geological forces necessary to crystallize your soul. If you had an easy past and a guaranteed future, you would remain soft coal. It is the struggle that forces you to access what lies within. But accessing this inner power requires a deliberate act of will. It requires silence in a noisy world. We live in an age of distraction where we are constantly pulled out of ourselves by screens, notifications, and the demands of others. We are terrified of silence because in silence we must face ourselves. Yet it is only in the silence that we can hear the whisper of the inner self. You must carve out time to reconnect with your core. You must peel back the layers of labels that society has placed upon you: employee, parent, spouse, citizen, and find the raw human spirit underneath. There is a divinity in you that is waiting to be acknowledged. Do not let the noise of the world drown out the song of your soul. Think of the great inventors, the artists, the leaders who changed the world. They did not do so because they had an easy path behind them or a clear path before them. They faced rejection, poverty, ridicule, and uncertainty, but they had a burning vision within them that was louder than the critics and brighter than the darkness. They bet on themselves. They understood that the resources they needed were not in the bank or in the approval of others, but in their own imagination and determination. You may be standing in the ruins of a broken dream today. You may be looking at a bank account that is empty, or a home that feels lonely. You may feel that your best days are behind you, buried in the golden haze of nostalgia, or you may feel that the wall in front of you is too high to climb. Listen to me closely. That is an illusion. The greatest days of your life have not happened yet because the greatest version of you is currently waking up. The power that created the universe is running through your veins. You have the capacity to reinvent yourself at any moment. You can learn a new skill, forgive an old enemy, start a new business, write a new book, or simply choose to be happy in this very breath. The tiny matters of circumstance are constantly changing. The weather changes, the economy changes, people come and go. If you build your house on these shifting sands, you will always be anxious. But what lies within is solid rock. It is the eternal witness. It is the part of you that watches the movie of your life without getting lost in the drama. When you identify with this inner self, you become invincible. Not because you will never get hurt, but because you will never be defeated. Let us take a lesson from nature. Consider the oak tree in winter. It looks dead. Its branches are bare, stripped by the freezing winds of the season behind it. The air is cold, promising a harsh winter before it. But deep within the trunk, deep within the roots, hidden under the frozen soil, life is pulsating. The sap is waiting. The blueprint of the leaves is already drawn. The tree does not panic because it has lost its leaves. It trusts the life within. It knows that spring is not something that happens to it. Spring is something that bursts from it. Your renewal, your success, your happiness, they will not come from a change in the external world. They will come when you unlock the spring within your own heart. So, how do we live this truth? We start by changing our dialogue. Instead of saying, I'm afraid of what will happen, say, I trust in who I am. Instead of saying, I am damaged by my past, say, I am deepened by my experience. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you let the world rush in, take a moment to place your hand on your heart. Feel the beat. That rhythm is the drumbeat of victory. Remind yourself that you contain multitudes. Remind yourself that you are capable of love that has no bounds, of creativity that has no limit, and of endurance that defies logic. When you walk into a room, do not walk in as the sum of your past mistakes. Walk in as the bearer of your inner light. When you face a problem, do not look at it with the eyes of fear. Look at it with the eyes of your inner giant. The problem is small. You are big. The obstacle is temporary. You are eternal. This perspective shifts everything. It makes you compassionate because you realize that everyone else is also carrying heavy burdens of past and future, unaware of the treasure they hold inside. It makes you brave because you realize there is nothing out there that can destroy what is in here. It makes you present because you stop living in the timelines of the mind and start living in the power of the now. We often search the world for a miracle, for a savior, for a sign. We travel to distant lands, read endless books, and seek the advice of gurus. We are like the musk deer that wanders the forest, searching for the source of a beautiful scent, running itself to exhaustion, never realizing that the scent comes from its own navel. The miracle is you. The savior you are waiting for is looking back at you in the mirror. The sign is the beating of your own heart. Ralph Waldo Emerson offered us a key, but a key is useless if it is left on the table. You must pick it up. You must insert it into the lock of your self-limiting beliefs and turn it. Open the door to your inner world. It is vast. It is beautiful. It is terrifyingly powerful. Do not be afraid of your own greatness. Do not shrink so that others feel comfortable. Expand. Radiate. Unleash what lies within. As you move forward from this moment, let the shadows of the past fall behind you where they belong. Let the fog of the future clear in the light of your confidence. Walk with the knowledge that you are equipped for this journey. You have everything you need. You are not empty, you are full. You are not weak, you are waiting. You are not finished. You are just beginning. The world is waiting for what lies within you to manifest. We need your art, your voice, your leadership, your kindness, and your strength. Do not deprive us of your light because you are too busy looking at the darkness behind or before you. The contest is not between you and the world. The contest is between the limited you and the infinite you. Let the infinite win. Let this message settle into your bones. Let it be the foundation upon which you build your new life. The past is a lesson. The future is a gift. But the present and the power within you is the only reality that matters. Stand tall, breathe deep, and remember, the universe is not outside of you. You are the universe, expressing itself as a human for a little while. Go forth and show us the glory of what lies within. In the grand scheme of existence, the timeline of your life is but a flicker, yet the light of your spirit can outshine the stars. Nurture that light, for it is the only thing that truly belongs to you. If these words have sparked a flame in your heart, if you feel the stirrings of the giant within you, do not let this moment fade. Join our community of seekers and dreamers. Please like this video and subscribe to Power in Words. Together, let us continue to unlock the infinite potential of the human spirit, one word, one thought, one breakthrough at a time. Your journey has just begun.